My name is Arvo Looking Horse. I'm Chief Arvo Looking Horse from Lakota Sioux Nation, and we're here on my reservation, the Cheyenne River Reservation in South Dakota. This is where the bundle has been for the last 100 years. I'm the keeper of the sacred pipe, 19th generation keeper of the sacred pipe.
What is up, you heathens and demons, you beautiful, blasphemous people? Welcome back to the Raging Atheist. I'm your boy Nakasuchi. Today, we're gonna start taking a look at Native American culture and the spiritual religion that they have. To this day, I carry a lot of what I learned all those years ago from a people I share a little bit of blood with. That knowledge is in me. And even with my atheism towards a creator, I honestly believe that the native peoples of Turtle Island had a special understanding of the planet we call home.
Since 1994, almost every year, a white buffalo calf stood upon the earth. And she told the people that this is a blessing, but it's a warning. She said when the white animal shows in their sacred color, there's going to be some great changes. Earth changes, climate changes, and we're in those changes.
Many have asked me to start speaking about that native culture and their religion. This is no easy task, because native peoples did not see religion like we do. They barely stopped to ponder the greater meanings, but the great mystery was ingrained in their everyday life. I have chosen to try to give you, my viewer, some knowledge on these matters. I chose this legend because it is one of the best preserved, because it gives you a look at the spirituality of the Great Spirit, Wankantonka. I give you the legend of White Buffalo Calf Woman. A young woman, during an enemy raid on her village, saw a toddler injured and ran to cradle him in her arms and comfort him as death approached. Soon she too was mortally wounded, and her young body crumpled with a young child still cradled in her arms. Her spirit hurried to catch up with the child's so that she would be there to care for him when they crossed over. To honor her noble act, the Sioux gave her the name Mother of Life. Many years later, so long ago that nobody knows how long, the nation, the 7 sacred council fires of the Lakota, came together and camped. The sun shone all the time, but there was no game, and the people were starving. Every day they sent scouts to look for game, but the scouts found nothing. Among the bands assembled were those known as Without Bows, who had their own camp circle under their chief, Standing Hollowhorn. Early one morning, the chief sent 2 of his young men to hunt for game. They searched everywhere, but also could find nothing. Seeing a high hill, they decided to climb it in order to look over the whole country. Halfway up, they saw something coming toward them from far off, but the figure was floating instead of walking. And from this, they knew that this person was holy.
Mainly buffalo at the time. And then when they're sitting on top of the hill, they saw from the far away distant a person coming. And this person came upon him was a woman with long black hair and buckskin dress and carrying a bundle.
At first, they could only make out a small, moving speck and had to squint to see that it was a human form. But as the figure came nearer, they realized that it was a beautiful young woman, more beautiful than any they had ever seen before. She wore white buckskin, tanned until it shone a long way in the sun. It was embroidered with sacred designs of porcupine quill in radiant colors that no ordinary woman could have made. This holy stranger was White Buffalo Woman. In her hands she carried a large bundle and a fan of sage leaves. She wore her blue-black hair loose, except for a strand at the left side, which was tied up with buffalo fur. Her eyes shone dark and sparkling, with great power in them. The 2 young men looked at her open-mouthed. One was overawed, but the other desired her and stretched his hand out to touch her. This woman was very sacred and could not be treated with disrespect. Lightning instantly struck the brash young man and burned him up so that only a small heap of blackened bones and ashes were left. Or as some say, that he was suddenly covered by a cloud, and within it, he was eaten up by snakes that left only his skeleton.
Buffalo robe. And she came to them and said, I know what both of you're thinking. One is good thoughts and one with the bad thoughts. She told the one with the bad thoughts, come to me. And when he approached her, a cloud enveloped him, clouds lifted, he was in skeleton.
To the other scout, who had behaved rightly, the White Buffalo Woman said, good things I am bringing, something holy to your nation, a message I carry for your people from the Buffalo Nation. Go back to the camp and tell the people to prepare for my arrival. Tell your chief to put up the medicine lodge with 24 poles. Let it be made holy for my coming. This young hunter returned to the camp. He told the chief and the people what the sacred woman had commanded. The chief told the crier, and the crier went through the camp circle calling, someone sacred is coming, a holy woman approaches, make all things ready for her. So, the people put up the big medicine teepee and waited. After 4 days, the White Buffalo Woman appeared to them as a white buffalo calf descending on a cloud. Stepping down, she rolled over onto the ground, changing from white to black, then yellow, then red. When White Buffalo Calf Woman arose, she was once again the beautiful young woman, cradling the sacred bundle in her arms. She spent 4 days with the people. White Buffalo Calf Woman taught them sacred songs, dances, and ceremonies, as well as other traditional ways.
And she was singing as she came to the people, and she laid a bundle down. She opened this buffalo robe, and there's a red stone and a stem. And she put it together, and then she started singing the 4 Directions song.
White Buffalo Calf Woman instructed them that Creator is the only owner of Mother Earth, that we are to be responsible caretakers of the land, and to always be mindful that the children are the future of the people. The chief, standing Hollowhorn, invited her to enter the medicine lodge. She went in and circled the interior, sunwise. The chief addressed her respectfully, saying, "Sister, we are glad you have come to instruct us." She told him what she wanted done. In the center of the lodge, they were to put up a sacred altar made of red earth with a buffalo skull and a 4-stick holder for a holy object that she had brought. And they did what she directed. And she showed them how to do all this, then circled the lodge again, sunwise. Halting before the chief, she now opened the bundle. The holy object it contained was the sacred pipe. She held it out to the people to let them look at it. She was holding the stem gently with her right hand and cradling the bowl with her left, and thus the pipe has been held this way ever since. White Buffalo Calf Woman then gave the pipe into the chief's care, detailing the ways in which the people could learn to grow into responsible keepers of the pipe, cultivating peace and understanding. One of her gifts was the suggestion that all children be taught to hold baby animals with love and caring, so that as they grow, she said, they will learn to love all the other babies of the world. Again, the chief spoke, saying, "Sister, we are glad you are here, but we have had no meat for some time. All we can give you is water." They dipped some sweet grass into a skin bag of water and gave it to her, and to this day, the people dip sweet grass or an eagle wing in water and sprinkle it on a person to be purified. The White Buffalo Woman showed the people how to use the pipe. She filled it with cherry bark and tobacco. She walked around the lodge 4 times after the manner she had done before the great sun. This represented the circle without end, the sacred hoop, the road of life. The woman placed a dry buffalo hair on the fire and lit the pipe with it. This was the fire without end, the flame to be passed on from generation to generation. She told them that the smoke rising from the bowl was the Creator's breath, the living breath of the grandfather, and the great mystery. The White Buffalo Woman showed the people the right way to pray, the right words, the right gestures. She taught them how to sing the pipe-filled song and how to lift the pipe up to the sky towards grandfather and down towards grandmother Earth, and then to the 4 directions of the universe. With this holy pipe, she said, you will walk like a living prayer. With your feet resting upon the earth and the pipe stem reaching into the sky, your body forms a living bridge between the sacred beneath and the sacred above. The pipe holds them all together. Wakantanka smiles upon us because now we are as one. Earth, sky, all living things, the two-legged, the four-legged, the winged ones, the trees, the grasses, together with the people, they are all related, all one family. The pipe holds them all together. "Look at this bowl," said the white buffalo woman. Its stone represents the buffalo Tatanka, but also the flesh and blood of the red man. The buffalo represents the universe and the four directions because he stands on four legs for the four ages of man. The buffalo was put in the west by Wakantanka at the making of the world to hold back the waters. Every year, he loses one hair. And in every one of the four ages, he loses a leg. The sacred hoop will end when all the hair and legs of the great buffalo are gone, and the water comes back to cover Mother Earth. The wooden stem stands for all that grows on the earth. 12 feathers hanging from where the backbone of the stem joins the skull. The bowl are from the spotted eagle, the very sacred bird, who is the Great Spirit's messenger and one of the wisest of all. Look at the bowl. Engraved in it are 7 circles of 7 sizes. They stand for the 7 ceremonies you will practice with this pipe, and for the 7 sacred campfires of our Lakota nation. The white buffalo woman then spoke to the women, telling them that it was the work of their hands and the love that grows in their hearts which kept the people alive. "You are from the Mother Earth," she told them. "What you are doing is as great as what warriors do. And therefore, the sacred pipe is also something that binds men and women together in a circle of love. It is the one holy object of which both men and women have a hand. The men carve the bowl and make the stem. The women decorate it with bands of colored porcupine quills. When a man takes a wife, they both hold the pipe at the same time, and red cloth is wound around their hands, tying them together for life. The white buffalo woman had many things for her Lakota sisters in that sacred bundle: corn, wild turnip, carrots. She taught how to make the hearth fire. She filled a buffalo paunch with cold water and dropped a red-hot stone into it. "This is the way you shall cook the corn and the meat," she told them. The white buffalo woman also talked to the children because they have an understanding beyond their years. She told them that what their fathers and mothers did was for them, that their parents could remember being little ones, and that they, the children, would grow up to have little ones of their own. And they must learn the traditional ways so that they can pass them along to their own children. She told them, "You are the next generation. That's why you are the most important and precious ones. Someday, you will hold this pipe and smoke it. Someday, you will pray with it." And then she spoke once more to all the people. The pipe is alive, she says. It is a red being showing you a red life and a red road. And this is the first ceremony of which you will use the pipe. You will use it with Wankin Tonka, the great mystery, the creator of all. She told the Lakota that they were one of the purest among all the other tribes, and for that reason, they had been bestowed with holiness. They had been chosen to take care of it, of the pipe, for all of the native peoples on Turtle Island. And she spoke one last time to Standing Hollowhorn, the chief, saying to him, "Remember, the pipe is very sacred. Respect it, and it will take you to the end of the road. The 4 ages of creation are in me. I am the 4 ages. I will come to see you in every generation cycle. I shall come back to you." The white buffalo calf woman then took leave of the people, saying, "I shall see you again." The people saw her walking off in the same direction from which she had come, outlined against the red ball of the setting sun. And as she was walking away, she stopped. And in the same manner as when she arrived, she lowered herself down to the ground and rolled over 4 times. The first time she turned into a yellow buffalo, the second into a red one, the third into a black one, and finally, the 4th time she rolled over, she turned into a white female buffalo calf.
Then when she left, she went to the west, and she went so far, and she rolled over and she stood up, and she became a young black buffalo. The second was a red one. The third one's a yellow one. And the 4th one is a white one. So she went over the hill as a white buffalo calf.
A white buffalo is one of the most sacred living beings you could ever encounter. The white buffalo woman disappeared over the horizon. Sometime she might come back. As soon as she had vanished, Tatanka buffalo appeared in great herds, allowing themselves to be killed so that the people might survive. And from that day on, our relations, the buffalo, furnished the people with everything they needed. Meat for their food, skins for their clothes and teepees, and bones for their many tools. It is said that white buffalo calf woman appeared later on to a young warrior whose troubled heart yearned for a good future for the children, for a future without the prospect of continual war and divisiveness, a future of peace. White buffalo calf woman advised him to seek the vision of a mother's heart for the love of her children. In 1994, a white buffalo calf was born on a farm in Wisconsin. The first white buffalo born in decades. Some believe she was the fulfillment of the prophecy that the return of the white buffalo calf woman will herald the advent of an age of peace and harmony. What's up, guys? If you like my video, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share me on your social media, comment in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button. Watch what's next. Watch what YouTube recommends for you. Tell all your friends how crazy Nakasuchi is. I'll see you soon.